kind of good to know about how they used to make the paper, the ancient Egyptian way. First of all, the plant of papyrus, used to be like holy to them, sacred. For two reasons. It looks like a pyramid. And the meaning of the pyramidal shape was that they believed that the earth was flat. And the solar disk is in the middle of the sky. So when the rays reach the two ends, it's a pyramid. That's the meaning of the pyramidal shape, the power of Ra coming down on earth. Also, the leaves here, the thin ones look like the rays of the sun, like the rays of the sun, and that's what was holy to them, the plant. The way they used to make the paper was actually from the middle part of it. But the top part is too, dry, and the bottom was too wet. So it has to be made from the middle part. So they used to get the stem and cut the stem according to the length of the piece of paper they want to cut. Assuming, it'd be about this long. Then they used to peel the outside part off.
What did the early Egyptians use for knives?
Well, in the Old Kingdom, there were knives of flint, flint knives. New Kingdom, there were like bronze, bronze.
That's all right.
Late period was iron. So, the outside part didn't use to make the paper from, that part used to make ropes of, ropes. And these papyrus, by the way, it's damn strong, and this explains how they used to pull the heavy blocks, like on sledges and ropes of papyrus, which is sometimes semi-steel one, like steel. Like if you just try to break it, someone without twisting it, pull it, try to break it.
Just go, Ben, go. Don't twist. Just
Oh, Ben, you're weak.
yeah, right.
It's before
Impossible, impossible. So it's like as hard as, steel ones they use now. And that's what they used to pull the ropes, the blocks, the sledges with. Whether they used people or animals, to pull it, but this was used to be pulled from. So this is about the outside part. The inside part to make paper out of is too fragile. Fragile. Like in this condition, it's too fragile, breaks easily. What makes it breaks easily is the moisture in it, the moisture. So that's why they used to get a slice and get the moisture out by rolling it, with this roll. Once you get the moisture out, it becomes a lot stronger. It's the moisture in it that makes it fragile, but now it's very strong. Still, there's an amount of sugar in it, in the chemical sense, like cellulose. So they have to soak it in water, for about 6-7 days, to get that sugar, cellulose down to some percentage. After those, 6 or 7 days, they will get 2 sheets of linen, and they will get the slices out of the water and put them like horizontally first. It was not weaving, just horizontally. So they're going to finish this order, let's say completely, until it comes to the bottom, overlapping each other this way. Then they would just put the vertical ones. Yes. After that, they would just put the other sheet. And in the ancient times, it was 2 heavy blocks, of limestone or granite. They would just put them there like a press. But now they use this, So, high tech, Egyptian high tech. So after they put it here for a few days still, like 5-6 days, they would get the paper and this is it.
Oh my God.
So no abracadabra, nothing. Just pressing them, you get the paper. And that's why it lives forever, this kind of paper, because it's made the natural way, nothing is added to it. So it stays forever unless you put it in water. So if you put it in, soak it in water again, you can get the strips back. And this way you can have it recycled. That's the first recycled paper in history, the Egyptians do that. So they gotta just reverse the order, and use it again, over again. So that's how they used to make the paper out of the papyrus plant. No.
Nice.
Here they have some reproductions, from some famous, drawings on walls of temples and tombs. Most famous one is this one here. This is called the Last Judgment, the Last Judgment. Until the 60s, they used to believe that as long as you don't have any artifacts in the tomb, you don't have to have it guarded, because what's there is steal. Until sometime in the 60s, some thieves went to one of the tombs and chopped this off the wall. And sold it to the French. Now it's in the the Louvre Museum in France, this one. And it summarizes the whole thing that the ancient Egyptian thing was about, religion. Here we have the dead person, swearing in front of some juries, Those juries stand for the provinces of Egypt then. So he had to swear in front of them that he did nothing wrong in any of the provinces of Egypt. It was over 40 things, but we had to swear he never did. One of them was what? I didn't disrespect my parents. I didn't abuse my wife. I did not steal anything from a temple. I did not marry a girl against her father's will. That was a big thing to do at that time. And I didn't pollute the Nile, was one of them. I never polluted the Nile. That was a big crime then. After he do that, he'll be okay. So he'll come down here for his heart to be weighed against a feather. A feather and his heart. And if it's the same weight, he'll be okay, up to the level of the goddess of justice, Might. The feather was her symbol. And if so, he's going to go and live in paradise, eternally. But he can't lie, because Tot is writing all the deeds, exactly what he did, so he can't lie. Also, Horus would lead him, the falcon-headed god, to live eternity with Osiris, Isis and Nephthys. If he's guilty, this hippocrocopilamos, anyways, 3 animals in one. Like it's a crocodile, a lion, and a hippo. And it's going to eat the heart of the person. And if it does that, like the heart is eaten, nothing will be left. That'd be the end. Because the ancient Egyptians believed that good Egyptians will have eternity, bad Egyptians will finish. That was the punishment, no eternity. And non-Egyptians will be in torture forever. We're racist, like all the ancient civilizations, always. So that's why this one here, the last judgment. That one there too is called the calendar. We call it the calendar. And you see the double figures for the directions, single figures for the seasons, and they make 12, the 12 months, and the hands make 24 hours of the day. And this one used to be on the wall of one of the rooms of the temple of Dendera, chopped off from there, cut off the ceiling by the French in the mid-1800s, taken to France. Now it's in the Louvre in France. Also we have some other pieces, like this is King Tutankhamun with his wife, Tutankhamun and his wife exchanging lotus flowers. And the lotus was a holy plant. Why? What does the lotus flower do at sunset? So they believe that there's a huge lotus flower in the middle of which the sun goes when it sets. Takes it, closes the petals, takes it out of the water. In the morning it's up. And that's why they used to fill the skull of a dead person while mummifying the body with lotus perfume. To wish him a rebirth, like he'd be born again. So that's what we have here about King Tut, and here is Tut with his wife and his hunting, King Tutankhamun and his wife. Also we have like many other pieces, and the young guys here will be here to help you explaining whatever piece, and help you also if you would like to wish to get any of them. And we'll be here for about, let's say, what is it now? What time is it? Okay, like